Hello, this is Ramirez with Tidewater Renaissance Fighting Arts, and once again I'm joined by one of our other instructors, Christine, and I want to talk a little bit today about some more left-handed stuff, but also what my friend in the SCA, Sir Tanaka Reiko, if you know him, talks about as short fu. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to get into standing position. And one of the things I just want to talk about is this idea that taller opponents present certain targets first. So in other words, if all things being equal, she just goes into long point and she extends out. She will ultimately hit my center of my body or my head or anything else before I can hit her. So a lot of times, for me in tournament, in just sparring fights, my first goal is that even if she's taller, even someone's a lot taller, if they attack, they bring their hands forward. So as she goes through her cut, she will always bring her hands as my nearest target. Not to say that I can't do things where, let's say she comes in for a cut, where I cut across, and now that head is in target, but a smart fencer very rarely gives you a lot of chances to do that. Tall people know what their advantage is. Their advantage is they can hurt you from far away. But the trade-off is their hands have to commit. If she keeps her hands close to her body in an attack, I can make that touch before she can actually hit me. So it's unlikely, unless she's deliberately shortcutting as a form of feint, that she's going to not present her hands. Here's the thing for a lefty, and it only really works, once again, for lefties. Make sure your thumb's on the blade, and act as if you're going to cut regular. As I go for it, I'm just going to do a thrust forward at her hands. She's expecting that I'm going to try to cut, but that's not my goal. My goal is to place this forward. If I can place it on the top gauntlet, even better. It stops her movement. There, I missed. But if I just aim, you can see how I'm catching her mid-cut. Now, why does this work? With my thumb here, this action is actually faster than this action is. I just flip. And if you want, Christine, you can just try it out. Put your thumb on the blade, and now just drop your point. You see how much faster that is? It's stupidly fast. But if I turn my body like this, what do you expect is coming? A cut. So that's what makes sense. But if I just flip my blade, if I get it right, there you go. I make contact on her before she's able to drop her blade. Now, is it possible for a righty to do this? Yes. Is it in any historical manual we know? No. So this is not a historical technique. I think that stuff for lefties is oftentimes not in historical techniques, which is why I do stuff like this on the channel. Go very slowly. I'm not wearing hard gloves. But if I were coming for a genuine cut, and you just do that thumb drop, it's good. Now just bring that point straight forward. That's it. So you see how it works? It takes a little while to get used to. I'm someone who targets hands all the time, so I'm a little more used to this. So once again, if I come here, now it looks like I'm going to cut, but I just drop my point, I'll get that hit more times than not, because right now we're talking about it, she's expecting, she's like, I'm going to go slower, than we normally do in fights. So this is something it's worthwhile to explore. You could make it a cut. I just find that the wrist dynamics, when I flip it so that my thumb is on the backhand, and I just drop that point, so I'm just basically pushing forward with my left, lifting with my right. This is incredibly fast. And, it's one of those things that people be like, I don't understand why that works, until you start comparing it to trying to cut. Just the weight distributes differently. This is ridiculously fast. It is one of those cheap, diabolical lefty moves, and if you learn to use it, you can use it to your advantage. Righties, I'm not going to say you can't use it, but the thing is, if it's righty versus righty, in the same set, it counters. It's very hard to make this work because of where we're coming from. So if I'm righty, even if I try, I won't get that. But because in a mirrored situation, this arm's coming on the exact same line. All I need to do is get it a second faster. I've got the line. A lot of times she just drops right into that. Now, I forgive you if you're going slower. I don't know, you don't want to get jacked in the hands the whole time. But you see how ridiculously effective that is. So it's something worth exploring if you're a lefty and you want to frustrate a righty. It's like, how do you frustrate a righty in your sparring sessions? Try this, because I did it a couple of weeks ago with one of our other instructors, and he was getting so ticked at how often I was hitting his hands. And now he's actually cursing me right now. Tim, you want to come to shot and just tell them how much it sucks? Okay, he doesn't want to tell us how much it sucks, but it does suck. He's looking at me right now very cross. So once again, if you're interested, if you enjoy what we do, we're Tidewater Renaissance Fighting Arts. We're based out of Norfolk, Virginia. I'll leave a link below if you're interested in what we do. This is Christine, one of our fellow instructors, and I will see you in the next video.